Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your seat. To release the belt, lift the top of the buckle. For your safety, remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is lit. And please keep your seatbelt on whenever you are seated, in case we experience unexpected turbulence. Please bring your seat to its full upright position and make sure that all carry-on items are properly stowed. Now that everything else on the plane is secured, have you thought about the child on your lap? In the event of turbulence or other emergency, your baby could substantially shift during flight. In fact, he or she may hit the ceiling or be thrown several rows away from your seat due to your failure to provide a proper seat restraint system.
Well, folks, that concludes our safety demonstration. At this time, we'd like to invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Most parents drive to the airport with their child in a child safety seat, and the laws of physics don't change when you get on an airplane. So why wouldn't you want your child to have the same level of protection on the airplane that they had in the car? We've investigated accidents where the board concluded that the reason the children survived the accident was because they were in a child safety seat. Many parents think that they can hold their child on their lap, but we've been looking at this issue since the 1970s, and we know that children who are on a lap are at much greater risk during turbulence or an accident. That's why we have made a number of recommendations. We want the children to be off their parents' laps, into a seat, and properly restrained. The FAA recommends that children travel in child restraint systems, but they don't require it. We know that parents want to do the right thing for their children. That's why we've made the recommendations to ask the FAA to require it. You never know what's going to happen, and you want your baby to get the best protection they can. You protect him in every other way. Why does it become less important to protect him on an airplane? I've been in the aviation safety business for over 40 years, and I've interviewed parents while I've been at the safety board who've had lap children in an accident. The most devastating interview I ever did was of a mother who said, "They told me I could hold my daughter on my lap, and when the accident happened, I couldn't hold her." As a parent, you never want to be in that situation.
In 1/2 mile, turn left on West Maple Street. Recalculating. The child under 4 feet, 9 inches located behind you should be sitting in a booster seat, as she is not tall enough to benefit from the adult lap and shoulder belt. Also, your car seat is unstable. It appears that you did not take the time to have it checked at a fitting station. Both of your kids are now at increased risk for injury in the event of a crash. When possible, make a U-turn and head to the nearest shopping center to purchase a booster seat for your child. Recalculating.
The Safety Board has studied the safety of children in cars extensively, including over 100 accident investigations, and has found that the best thing parents can do is make sure their children are in an age-appropriate restraint, whether they're going to the grocery store or taking a longer trip to relatives. The youngest children need to be in a rear-facing seat. When they outgrow that, they can transition to a forward-facing seat with an internal harness. Next would come a booster seat, which uses the vehicle's lap shoulder belts. Older children need to use booster seats in cars because the seat belt is designed for an adult. When they're born, you put them in products specially made for them, bathtubs, high chairs. That doesn't stop just because they're a little older, until they fit the seatbelt in the car, which happens when they can sit all the way back, their knees bend at the right place, the seatbelt hits them on the hips and the chest correctly, and they can stay that way for the whole ride. They need to be in a booster seat. I know it can be confusing, I know there are a lot of options, but there are resources available to help you and your community if you need the help. As an investigator, I've seen cases where children were ejected and seriously injured or killed because they were not in an age-appropriate restraint. And as a father of 4, that hits very close to the heart for me. One mistake, not even a mistake on your part, somebody else driving on the road, somebody you don't know, 1 second, and the consequences last forever. These tragedies, these outcomes, you can prevent them by doing something as simple as getting a car seat, making sure it's installed right, and making sure your child uses it every trip. The hardest part of my job is talking to families after there's been an accident and interview them, and they want to know why, they want to know what they could have done differently or what else they could have changed to prevent this horrible outcome. And I think by helping parents realize that keeping their kids safe in the car, as safe as they can be in the proper restraints, that conversation will never have to take place. I won't have to go to them after an accident and look at them and have them ask me why.
Simple precautions can sometimes mean the difference between life and death. Shouldn't your child be just as protected as you are?